foot. And we are going to work some on massage tables too. We may not today, okay? But just so you can kind of visualize this in the moment. If he was on a massage table and I'm standing next to the massage table, one way that I could get this kind of pressure, okay, on, hey guys, one way that I could kind of get this pressure on the feet would be to hike my knee up and to rock into the foot with my knee. So if you visualize I'm on the massage table and I've just pulled my knee up and I'm just working in here. And again, it doesn't feel very strong in the sense of effort on my part, but it's actually quite strong pressure on the receiving end, okay? Another idea is in a little deeper stance, even in a lunge, is actually to come over here and to work the foot using your elbow, okay? And work all this loose and work all these points with your elbow and the bottom part of your forearm, okay? Whatever it takes, do that first before you try to get in there and do some heavy thumb work, okay? But let's say I've just done this and I just did the heel, walking, okay, turn around, walk up so your toes are below the line of the knees, just below, feet together. First thing is hands on the mat first. So I'm going to do the front torso and gluteal points, but I never just drop on top of the client because again, I don't know what your tolerance is for pressure. This is the first time I've gotten on top of you in this session, okay? So maybe you have good tolerance, maybe you don't. Maybe you're going to freak if as soon as I start to put this pressure on. I don't know. So I have to have control of my weight, right? So I never fall on the client. I judiciously apply, thoughtfully apply pressure. All right, so I ease my knees over and sit up, okay? I want the points of my knees right in the edge of the gluteal fold. So right where the thigh becomes the bottom, that crease, right in the middle of that, that's where I want the point of my knee. Step number one is just sit up straight. Because again, I'm bringing pressure to bear gradually. Because I don't know what he can take, and I don't know how he's going to react. So I'm going to give him lots of opportunity to adjust and to accommodate to what is obviously going to be a lot of pressure. You know, elephant on your back. Now, step number one is take a breath, slide down, and butterfly palm, but frame the sacrum. And the first thing I'm going to do is just rock on and rock off. So I'm going to rock on, okay, and then I'm going to rock off. All right, it's two things that is. One, it's a sacral pump, okay. Two is it was a handshake to let the client know that there's going to be pressure. Okay, both are good. So then I come back up, and once I'm up here, all right, now don't hold yourself up like this, okay, because that's too much effort. And I want gravity to do the work. It's not because I'm working hard, it's just because I'm here. So let your belly hang, okay? So your bottom's up, your belly's down. That puts all the weight in your hands and knees. Then from right there, nice and easy, palm walk up to the round part of the shoulders. When you start to feel that roundness, you're at the top. Don't go any further or you'll slide off, okay? Palm walk down. I'm next to the spine but not on it. All the way to the sacrum. Palm walk up. Of course you have to breathe. Everybody has to breathe. Nobody hold their breath. And the second time I come up between the shoulders, take a nice breath, big breath. Me too. And as he exhales, I exhale and drop forward and give him some weight. Okay? There's a compression between the shoulders. Palm walk back down and grab the forearms. Hold my arms. All right? So sit up straight. Keep the hands low at this point. There are many ways to do this technique. There are many variations of this technique. The one we're going to do is the low position. not the high position, the low position. All right, so I take a breath. Step number one is I throw my head back, okay? The head has to go first. I throw my head back, and as I exhale, I drive back and lift him up. Go as far as I can, comfortably and with complete control. So I can come out. When I get back out, I push on the wrist and just step back and come out. Okay? So that's the easy way out. All right? Releasing the child pose, Aaron.
So that was low, huh?
That's the low position, yeah.
Wow.
That was really cool.
There's 10 different variations of this position. All right, thanks, Aaron. All right, let me have another break song.
She skips to the mat.
Okay, this time, I'm not going to break down all the steps. Let's have a little bit of space. So walk up so the line of my toes. That already I know about where my knees are going to go. Okay, so if my feet are below the knees, and then if I need to adjust a little bit up or a little bit back because of height difference, length of leg difference, I do that, okay, after I'm down. So first thing is hands on the mat. So you got to get down first, okay? And then ease over and sit up straight. If I needed to be up a little bit, I could do that. Now also look here, my toes are under, and I'm sitting on my heels. This is my seat. I'm very comfortable. I can sit here all day, okay? Now, slide down, butterfly on the sacrum, take a breath, and as I exhale, rock on. And see how my butt's sticking up? That's because I'm not holding myself in this position. It's all gravity. My weight is distributed between both knees and both hands. I call this my billy goat posture. You ever seen a goat standing on a rock? Mm-hmm. They've got all 4 feet about this far apart. Has anyone ever been like in the out west in the mountains, like the Black Hills or what, and seen the bighorn sheep?
Those ibex?
Not the ibex, the bighorn sheep. They're white, big round eyes, and little short, almost little curved horns, jet black.
You're talking about mountain
Okay.
goats.
Mountain goats,
Bighorn
but they're mountain goats. They're massive, okay? But you'll see this. I mean, they're massive, okay? And you'll be up there, and you'll see one of them up on the side of a hill. There's this massive animal. Like when you see them on TV, you don't get how big they are. They're really big, okay? And you see, once you've seen them and you know that, you see this big animal on the side of a 1,000-foot cliff. And they've got all 4 feet, looks like on a rock as big as your hand. And they're like, and then when they're ready to go, they like just jump to another rock about as big as your hand. And like hardly even like, whatever, on the side of a vertical cliff, you know. All right, anyway, but they do this thing where they have all their feet together and they can perch and balance. They seem very comfortable. That's what this reminds me of. Sorry about that. All right, walking up. Now, if I feel like she can't take the weight, you know, I weigh over 200 pounds. I used to weigh way over 200 pounds, but now I'm just over 200 pounds. I keep this back, okay? You know what we call this?
Wham.
WHAM, weight activation mechanism, otherwise known as your butt. Weight activation mechanism. In other words, the more you put your bottom into something, the heavier you are. The further you hold your bottom out, the lighter you are. This is actually, you know, we talk about moving from the core, okay? You could actually just as much say move from your ass, okay? Because if you put your hips into it, that is the same as core, okay? And things like Aikido, you know, here's what they'll do. The teacher will say, I'm guilty of this as anyone. They'll say, move from your core. And then, but what I'll show you to do is slam your butt into their side. You know? Because it's the same thing. This is the power right here. All right, now, so if I think she's sensitive, I keep it back. In other words, I let the hands get ahead. You see? So I'm much lighter. If I think she can take it, take it. I let my hips move forward and follow the hands. I'm much heavier. Okay? You hear all this cracking and groaning, and, you know. And then when we get up to the top between the shoulders, take a nice breath. And exhale. And rock forward. Rock back at no time, holding your breath. Walk back down. Grab the wrist and say, hold my arms. Take a nice big breath. Keep a hold of my arms. And exhale. And then we just come up nice and easy. Head first and arch back. Now, sometimes we run into a situation when you go down. See how I let her down slow? Bunk, don't drop. And forward. Okay, about time. Release. Child pose. There's so many ways that this works. I can't even talk about it in one class. But here's the idea. So it is a functional back bend. All right? It's a compensating pose. That means while you're doing a back bend, I'm doing a back bend. It's a perfect illustration of how Thai is as good for the person doing it as the person receiving it, because if I'm doing my work correctly, I don't do Cobra to you, I do Cobra with you. So I put my head back, arch my shoulders back, arch my upper back, and try and get some bend into my back and that creates a counterweight. And I go as far as I can go with control. Part of what that means is I go as far as I can go and maintain my breathing. See, if I run out of gas and I'm holding my breath over on this end, trying to get a little bit further, that's not correct. That's incorrect. Okay? Because the control limitation is based on the breath. All right, second thing is, what if I can go further than my client? Well, I don't. I go till I feel the resistance, the hard resistance, okay? What if my client can go further than I can? Okay? To start with, actually what you do is you just go to your comfortable limitation. No matter what the client can do, even if they can come all the way up until you can bump your head on the floor, okay? If you can't get in and out of that with complete control, do not do it. All right? It is the most awkward thing in the world to pull somebody up in Cobra and you can't get out. Okay? And so the only thing you can do is let go. Okay? They're under tension, they're under leverage. If you have to let go in the middle of this, they're going to flop over. That's a ballistic motion. Remember I said the only guarantee you never hurt anybody is if you don't do anything too fast or too hard. Okay? So if you load the bow with tension and let the arrow fly, you've now introduced chaos into your session, and there's a possibility somebody's going to get hurt. Okay? And maybe they won't. But see, that's the nature of entropy. It's the nature of chaos. You put that chaos in, anything can happen, and sometimes it's not pretty. Okay? So control is a big factor. What if you're working on someone who's too big for you to lift? Like you go to do the Cobra and nothing happens. Okay? Well, remember the rule about if you're working on anybody and you can't do the motion, what do you do?